Good morning, everybody, and welcome into No Such Time Domain. I'm No Such Time. Today's gonna be a short one because we got two chapters before we finish out the book of Joshua. I'm gonna call it probably like a 30-minute stream today, not too long. I'm pretty much gonna read the two chapters and talk a little bit and then out of here. But we can get started. So I have some prayers. Not prayer. I didn't get prayer requests, but I have some prayers at the end of this. I'm gonna say for somebody because they're not feeling well right now because there's somebody I watch quite frequently, so I'm gonna pray for them. Um, all right, so let's get started here. I don't have much to talk about, so let's just get into everything. Um, Joshua's farewell to the leaders, sorry. Chapter 23. After a long time had passed, and the Lord had given Israel rest from all their enemies around them, Joshua, by then a very old man, summoned all Israel, their elders, leaders, judges, and officials, said to them, I am very old. You yourselves have seen everything the Lord has done to all these nations for your sake. It was the Lord your God who fought for you. Remember who I will have allotted as an inheritance for your tribes. All the land of the nations that remain, the nations I conquered between the Jordan and the Mediterranean Sea in the west. The Lord your God himself will push them out for your sake. He will drive them out before you, and you will take possession of their land, as the Lord your God promised you. Be very strong, be careful to obey all that is written in the book of laws of Moses, without turning aside to the right or to the left. Do not associate with these nations that remain among you. Do not invoke the names of their gods or sworn by them. You must not serve them or bow down to them, but you are to hold fast to the Lord your God as you have until now. The Lord has driven out before you great and powerful nations. To this day no one has been able to withstand you. One of your routes a one of you routs a thousand, because the Lord your God fights for you, just as he promised. So be very careful to love the Lord your God. So he's saying, hey, my life's about to end. Y'all need to keep following you guys need to keep following these rules that the Lord created for you. So, but if you turn away and ally yourselves with the survivors of the nations that remain among you, and if you intermarry with them and associate with them, then you may be sure that the Lord your God will no longer drive out these nations before you. Instead, they will become snare and traps for you, whips on your back and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from this good land, which the Lord your God has given you. So he's saying, don't intermarry outside of outside of your belief for me, because if you intermarry outside of this belief for me, it's gonna be bad for you, because that's why he made it. That's why he wrote stuff about it being uncomfortable and all that, because that's something he specifically God had well, it's been said in the Bible a couple of times that if you intermarry outside, it actually comes up later on, I believe, too, where if you intermarry outside of like your belief in God, it's not gonna be good for you, and it'll stray you away from things, and it happens quite frequently later on. You'll see that where a man will marry a woman, or like example in Kings, there's a guy that marries like 700 women, and he strays away from his belief in God and gets so far deep out and out into the other beliefs that like I think if I remember correctly, God kind of punished him over it. So just remain with God if you believe in God. Some people I talk to them and they know I believe in God, and sometimes I even think they'll slowly drift into the believing in God and all that. I'm not telling you what to do, but it's just like it's something that like I try to get people to secretly do is come to God, come to Jesus Christ, and live a happy and full life under God. So just how I feel. Now I am about to go the way of all the earth. You know, with all your heart and soul, that not one of all the good promises the Lord your God gave you has failed. Every promise has been fulfilled, not one has failed. But just as all the good things the Lord your God has promised you have come to you, so he will bring on all the evil things he has threatened until the Lord your God has destroyed you from this this good land he has given you. If you violate the covenant of God, uh, the covenant of your Lord, the Lord your God, which he commanded you, and go and serve other gods and bow down to them, the Lord's anger will burn against you, and you will quickly perish from the good land he has given you. So, um, I can say I've seen incidences where, people that believe in other gods or, you know, stuff like that, um, or getting involved into like dark things. That's why, like, okay, so there was this woman I was watching last night on my Kick stream, and she was talking about how, like, it's like everything has a capability of leading a demon into your life. She was saying it last night. Now, I had to ban a guy in here because what she was saying made sense to me. But she was saying even the littlest of things can lead a demon into your life, whether it be a horror film, like, and I say about anime, but anime does it too because it talks about demons and stuff like that, so it can lead demons into your life. This is just something like me myself. I've experienced stuff like this. I'm not, I've seen a demon myself. I've seen a couple of them in my life, and demons are portrayed as ghosts of your dead, lost relatives. They're portrayed as like dark, like really really dark clouds, and that's the experience I have, and I'll talk about that after I'm done reading here. But this lady, she's over on Facebook, and she said she's seen quite a few demons herself take the presence of, you know, and there are aliens, ghosts, skinwalkers, stuff like that. I don't know about the skinwalkers part because I can't say I've ever experienced one, but I've seen some weird stuff in my life that like are are demons, and that's what the Bible says. The supernatural stuff is considered as demons. That's why you stay away from supernatural stuff and all that. It's cool, yes, it's cool to a lot of women, but it's just one of those things you have to be aware of what you're getting into because those are demons. So, all right, 1 second. Let me take a drink of coffee. The girl is really real versed. So if you want to know who she is, I follow her on Facebook. Go check her out, and I'll show you who she is. So, I listen to a couple people on Facebook that talk about Bible related stuff. So, the covenant renewed at Shemek, chapter 24. Then Joshua assembled all all the tribes of Israel at Shemek. He summoned the elder leaders, judges, and officials of Israel, and they presented themselves before God. Joshua said to all the people, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Long ago, your ancestors, including Terah, the father of Abraham, and Nahor, lived beyond the Euphrates River and worshipped other gods. But I took your father Abraham from the land beyond the Euphrates and led him throughout the Canaan and gave him many descendants. I gave him Isaac, and to Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. I assigned the hill country of Seir to Esau, but Jacob and his family went down to Egypt. Then I sent Moses and Aaron, and I afflicted the Egyptians by what I did there. And I brought you out when I brought you, and when I brought your people out of Egypt, you came to the sea, and the Egyptians pursued them with chariots and horsemen as far as the Red Sea, but they cried to the Lord for help, and he put darkness between you and the Egyptians. He brought the sea over them and covered them. Yes, uh, covered them. You saw with your own eyes what I did to the Egyptians. Then you lived in the wilderness for a long time. I brought you to the land of Amorites who lived east of Jordan. They fought against you, but I gave them into your hands. I destroyed them before you, and you took possession of their land. When Balak, son of Zippor, the king of Moab, prepared to fight against Israel, he sent Balaam, son of Beor, to put a curse on you. But I would not listen to Balaam, so he blessed you again and again. And I delivered you out of his hand. Then you crossed the Jordan and came to Jericho. The citizens of Jericho fought against you, as did also the Amorites, Perizzites, Kenitites, Hittites, Girgashites, Hivitites, and Jebusites. But I gave them into your hand. I sent hornets ahead of you, which drove them out before you. Also the two Amorite kings. You did not do it with your own sword and bow. So I gave you a land on which you did not toil, and cities you did not build, and you lived in them and ate from the vineyard and olive groves that you did not plant. Now fear the Lord and serve him with all faithfulness. Throw away the gods of your ancestors, worshipped beyond the Euphrates River and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose yourselves this day whom you will serve, whether the God your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates, or the gods of the Amorites, whose land you are living in, or whose land you are living. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Then the people answered, Far be it from us to forsake the Lord to serve other gods. It was the Lord our God himself who brought us and our parents up out of Egypt from that land of slavery, and performed those great signs before our eyes. He protected us on our entire journey. Why is my light flickering? Stop flickering, light. Man. It does that from time to time. It'll just randomly start flickering. It's weird. Our entire journey, and among all the nations through which we traveled, and the Lord drove out before us all the nations, including the Amorites, who lived in the land. We, too, will serve the God, because he is our God. Joshua said to the people, You are not able to serve the Lord. He is a holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not forgive you. He will not forgive your rebellion and your sin. If you forsake the Lord and serve foreign gods, he will turn and bring disaster on you, and mark an end of you after he has been good to you. But people said to Joshua, No, we will serve the Lord. Then Joshua said, You are a witness against yourselves that you have chosen to serve the Lord. Yes, we are witness, they replied. Now then, Joshua, throw away the foreign gods that are among you and yield your hearts to the Lord, the God of Israel. And the people said to Joshua, we will serve the Lord our God and obey him. On that day, Joshua made a covenant for the people, and there at Shemek, he reaffirmed from the decrees and laws, and Joshua recorded these things in the book of the law of God. So, I wonder if this was called the book of the law of God before before it got called the Bible, because like it just seems like that was mentioned twice actually, the book of the law of God, which I'm gonna look that up and see if it's a different book from this, but I'm pretty sure it's the Bible that we're reading, and it was originally called the book of the law of God. So then he took a large stone and set it up there under the oak near the holy place of the land of the Lord. See, he said to all the people, this stone has been witness against us. It has heard all the words the Lord has said to us. It will be a witness against you if you are unturned to your God. Then Joshua dismissed the people to each of their inheritance. Born in a promised land, after these things, Joshua son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died at the age of 110 years, and they buried him in a land of inheritance at Timnath Serah in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gaash. Israel served the Lord throughout the lifetime of Joshua and of the elders who outlived him and who experienced everything the Lord has done for Israel. And Joseph's bones, which the Israelite has brought up from Egypt, were buried at Shemek in the tract of land that Jacob brought for 100 pieces of silver from son of Hamor, the father of Shemek. This became the inheritance of Joseph's descendants, and Eleazar, son of Aaron, died and was buried at Gibeah, which has been allotted to his son Phinehas in the hill country of Ephraim. So now we're on to Judges, which is like the darkest book in the Bible. So yes, Joshua's not as good as Moses' story, but it's still pretty good. Has its moments. All right. Earlier on, I said I wanted to show you guys somebody I watch or I check out their shorts and all that on Facebook, and they were saying something yesterday. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch it here, but if you have a chance, check this person out. Let me pull up Facebook first, and all right. So let me go over to her profile and see if I can see. No, I can't. All right. Can't do that. All right. All right. So we'll just literally go to her profile. All right. So this girl here, she's big on Bible related stuff. So if you're a girl and you're tired of watching a guy like me, no offense, you want to check this girl out, okay? Her name is Alexis Johnson, okay? Now, as you can see here, it says right here she basically opens with her banner being like a Bible verse. All right, and her name's Alexis Jones, and she's really well versed, like all from biblical mindset reprogramming, win the war on your mind. So and she basically talks a lot about like different stuff. She does a lot of shorts on it. I don't know if she actually runs a YouTube channel, which I'm actually curious now. So if you have a chance, like she'll do streams reading the Bible just like me, but she's well versed in it. Like she was crying right here because she had a bunch of people just subscribe to her and all that. So yeah, by all means, outside of me, if you want, you can listen to her. I don't know. I mean, I've just stumbled upon her, so she seems like she's really, really well versed in everything. And if you're out there struggling and you want to get closer to God and you want somebody that's like really well versed, she's the person. I will even say I'm not as well versed in Bible as she is. I just understand enough of stuff, but enough of everything to make sure I can at least try to get it out there. But this is somebody you want to check out if you are like into Bible stuff like me. And she's like that type of girl that we see that reads the Bible and has a bunch of tattoos. And she even talks about tattoos and getting tattoos and being a Christian as well. But there was a short she had last night that basically talked about what I talked about earlier on, where I couldn't figure out how to relay the message back. But there's a lot of ways demons can get into your life, and one of them is, through movies, watching movies and stuff like that. And I know it's hard to believe, and but I said it before, and I didn't know how to say it, but you know, it has to be really, really intriguing to the mind to get intriguing to the human eye to really, really, I want to say, get your attention and all that. So yeah, has to be really intriguing to the human eye to get the attention of you, and then you know and then if it's bad, what the demon will do, or what the devil does, is he'll secretly possess you and put a demon into your life, whether you realize it or not. And it could be through anything. It could be through, let's just say there's like, I don't know, let's just say like people believe in crystals. People believe crystals do healing, spiritual healing and all that. But then being around those enough and knowing people, there's people that wear those crystals, you can see that, you can sometimes just tell that they have their they have some sort of like bad entity to them. And I'm not, it's just one of those things that I picked up on while I was doing it. So while I was looking at it, and it's been dawning on me, and I've been trying to explain it to people, but like everything you like, anime always portrays the demon as a good guy. No offense, but the demons are not good guys. They're never supposed to be the good guys. They that's the issue with watching things like anime, is I've watched enough of it myself to know exactly that, sometimes demons are not demons are never the good people. And that's the message that she's portraying there, is like, you want to look out for what you're looking at and what you're watching, because unfortunately she knows a lot about it, and that's why I've been following her lately and all that. So she's good. She's totally worth following. I want to actually see if she has a like channel on YouTube or anything, real quick. But yeah, she's totally worth following, everybody. Like, if you're into Bible related stuff and you like listening to me, but you want to get it from a different standpoint, like you want to get it from a pretty girl, she's your person. Okay, let's see. Alexis Johnson. Alexis Johnson. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, she's on. No, she's not on YouTube. She's not on YouTube at all. That's weird. Yeah, she's not on YouTube. She's just on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only way to find her. Well, why is there like... Alright. So anyway, no, not that either. Alright. So, if you're interested in that, yeah, go check her out if you're on Facebook, of course. Now, the only way to check her out is through Facebook. I don't know if she also has like a Twitter account or an Instagram. But she's really well versed in the Bible, and that's why I mean, I love that you guys come here, but I will say, go follow somebody if if you love listening to me, you love listening to the stories here, by all means stay here. Um, but at the same time, she's what really well versed, and I do not condone. I do not, you know, how do I want to say it? I do not. I'm not against people following her for better, well versed Bible related stuff, because I only know so much, and I love reading the Bible, but I'm not well versed in the Bible at all. There's a lot I need to learn, and she's just the girl you want to learn. Plus, she's pretty, so. um, Now, I'm almost done here, so I told you this was gonna be a short one. The book ended today, so after I get out of here, I'm gonna upload a short, which is gonna be a little bit more earlier, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take pictures for tomorrow's stream and put them up. I'm gonna put up Proverbs 6. I've been meaning to do it, but it's gonna go right over here, right in this area where it floats. So be prepared for that. I just want to change some things a little bit, just tweak some things up a little bit so things are different and people come in and be like, "Oh, this is pretty cool now." So if I have a floating reminder right here for you guys, I think people will pay attention and be like, "Oh, okay." So but chances are some people won't pay attention. Some people will come in and they'll still do their really bad things, and that's where I have to be like, okay, well then I have to ban you. Like last night when I was listening to her, somebody was like coming in and insulting her. Um, but okay, so I do have a story about what she said myself. Remember how she was like, demons are things like such as skinwalkers, aliens, and ghosts? Well, I saw something the one night. I was sitting in my bedroom, and this was really late at night. But I saw something in my bedroom, and I wasn't like, I was getting ready to go to sleep, and I lay down, and I looked up at my roof, or like at the corner of my roof, like the very edge, and I saw this like really really dark black cloud come out and just my scroll over and then sit above me, and I still to this day don't know what that is, and I looked it up and there's no answer to it. So just, stuff like that does exist. I've have experiences before where like I've witnessed like random things start moving around me, like, and I mean like I'd be like sitting next to my Christmas tree when I was younger at my mom's house, and a Christmas ball just started like moving back and forth. Or like I was at school one time and really really young, I remember seeing the cart. They were talking about leprechauns, and the cart just starts moving back and forth like out of nowhere. It was wild, but like it's one of those things that those are demons, so those are things you want to stay away from if you believe in that. If you believe in that stuff, like if she said in the short, the supernatural stuff is actually very demonic, and that's why you don't want to like mess around with it or anything like that. Come on now. Um, but anyway, it's one of those things that you have to look out for what you're doing. Be very careful. I know some things are just pretty to the human eye, but things that are pretty to the human eye might be actually are normally really bad to, unless it's a beautiful woman, that's a Christian woman, then it's different. But even them, even those ladies, they can still do some bad stuff. Trust me. When they have nice looks, they can still do bad stuff. um, but I literally, I haven't, the whole like supernatural stuff. I used to be big into that back when I didn't fully get around to understanding the Bible, or like anything that was said in the Bible. Like I started reading the Bible a little while ago, and I didn't fully understand it. Now this time I understand it, and for me to see anything supernatural, I haven't seen anything like actually supernatural in like years. So I don't know if Pennsylvania is like a breeding ground, but Florida has nothing. Florida has nothing related to supernatural or seeing things that go bump in the night or anything like that. I don't know. There was just something about Pennsylvania, and it's because that area was like where the Civil War took place, and so just just kind of like let that sit in with you, and then maybe that's where the demonic forces were, because if the Civil War took place there, think about in the middle of that war and stuff that was going on within that war. We had we had Abraham Lincoln sending the slaves, no offense, setting the African American free back then. So a lot of those, a lot of their culture and background, before they came to America, they believed in supernatural stuff. So what could have happened is there was a lot of voodoo cast up there, and I believe demonic forces got out, and that's why Pennsylvania is kind of how it is. And I never realized that, but thinking about it now, yeah, it kind of makes sense to me that that would happen because they all came from didn't they all didn't yeah, they had to come from Africa, which is like a main source of like where voodoo is and all that. So it's just something to really think about. And I'm not saying this about everybody, of course, but I'm saying about like that could be the possibility. There could have been some kind of black magic or something bad going brewing within the Civil War, and people made it that way. Because again, in her short, she said our dead relatives are not still here on Earth. They're in heaven, or they're in heaven if they go there. So just something to think about. Anyway, let's see what time it is. Oh, it's 11:30. All right, I'm gonna say prayers and get out of here, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow with the next book, Judges. We're gonna do a couple chapters from that. So, all right. Lord Jesus Christ, I pray to you today that you bring light into people's life that need it. Anybody not feeling good, like Miss Click, for example, she's not feeling good. I'm praying for her, praying for you to make her feel better and just bring her back to her whole state of health, that she feels better, Lord. She's also had some other incidences, and Lord, just look over her, send angels to her, protect her, and make her feel better. Lord, also do the same thing with Melanie Mack. Send angels to her, protect her. Anybody, like even, Brittany Venti, send angels to her, protect her. And also, Lord, protect anybody else that is dealing with stuff, whether it be man or woman. I don't know what's going on the other side of the video game community because unfortunately I've been kicked out, but everybody seems to be doing fine on the YouTube end. So Lord, if RGT, Dreamcast guy, Spawnwave, everybody like that, if they need you, Lord, be there for them, bless them, send angels to them, protecting them, Lord. Also, send light here into my life. And Lord, make sure that people understand that anything like ghosts or any little thing that's attractive to the human eye, make sure people are understanding that demons can dwell there, and demons can manifest there and come into their life. So Lord, that is why like I have been trying to stop it. Lord, if you can place that in people's minds, so that way they know and understand that some things are not exactly good for them, Lord, make people have eyes to see the bad in things that are like with you, Lord. Anybody righteous with the Lord, place an eye of seeing darkness where it is, place an eye of seeing good where it is, so they know the difference and can understand it, Lord. And also, Lord, just teach people to be different and be better than they are. Lord, we really need people to start learning to be better than they are, Lord. And just wipe out darkness and continue to wipe out darkness. In Jesus' name, amen. So there you go. I'm out of here. I'll put up a shortly, but again, if you want to, go check the lady out. She's really well versed. She doesn't have a YouTube channel. I checked. But I'll check and see if she's on Twitter and other accounts. But she seems like she's really well versed. And again, guys, take it easy, and I'll be back tomorrow I'll be back tonight doing some more YouTube reels on Kick here later tonight, after midnight, of course. And I will be back tomorrow morning with another stream. I believe I have off, so I'm going to be doing 2 streams tomorrow during the day. But Judges, get ready for that book. Very, very dark. All right. Have a good day. God bless you, and take it easy.